Hey, Manny, today you'll be reacting to more Atozy, A to Z, and this one's more Johnny Smalley. This one's titled Disrespectful IRL Streamer Facing 20.5 More Years in Korean Prison, and I wonder why. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I just wonder which one they're gonna nail him on. Because I know I don't think there's like any official ruling on the deepfakes. I know he's being charged for them, but yeah, that plus who knows, right? Maybe I should just stop covering this. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I part of me just wants to see like how many years it's gonna get tallied up, right? But let's just see what Atozy has to say about this.
It's safe to say one of the most disliked live streamers in the world just realized he destroyed his life chasing internet attention in South Korea, as things have somehow gotten even worse for Johnny Smalley out there. Because not only has he been slapped with more charges, but one of these new charges, they come with a mandatory prison sentence of at least 3 years if convicted. And considering South Korea has about a 99% conviction rate, it's not like you really need to be a legal expert to see where all of this is going. But what makes all of this even dumber is the fact that Johnny, just like everything else, live streamed him doing everything. Just like how he live streamed himself prank calling the police for $5.
It's like there's some things that people do that could be debated, like if they actually committed it or not. And I'm not gonna say any like specifics, but like usually the case, the police or the detectives, whoever's investigating, would have to find evidence for it, and usually that takes effort and digging wherever. But in this case, it's all live streamed. All they had to do is just find the VOD, find someone who re-uploaded, and it's all there. It just makes it so easy for them.
Here's how he live streamed himself harassing construction workers, stalking other streamers, showing up late to his own trial after drunkenly insulting the judge and prosecutors while also live. Oh, in his new defense, he's apparently trying to pull the I'm bipolar card to avoid.
I don't know how they are with like stuff that has to do with mental things, because as I know, they're not, I don't want to say like sympathetic, but they're a lot more stricter on it than the states, I believe. I could be wrong, but from what I've heard, they're not as lenient as the states would be if you claim some sort of thing like bipolar. So, and he's probably lying about it too. So I mean, they're probably onto it, but. Yeah.
Jail time. Good luck with that, especially because he's already pleaded guilty to 3 charges in the exact same case. So today we're diving into how Johnny somehow managed to stack 5 criminal charges in just a few months, all of which could send him to prison for years.
He's like, oh, I pled guilty, but are they gonna try to argue that he was in the right state of mind when he pled guilty because he was still hungover or still drunk? I don't know.
For the attention of like what 20 teenagers online. But on top of that, we're also talking about a new investigation which could lead to another decade in
investigation in South Korea could lead to 10-year prison sentence for child harassment. What happened to that? Like I know. From what I remember, Atozy did show like a video where he was making Ramsey was making fun of or like belittling like a child, trying to ask, like he was trying to ask for help of how to get like a subway ticket or something like that, and he was like belittling a child, or it was something like that. Was it that 10 years for that, or was there something more?
Prison for him. So it's safe to say things are just not going his way over there. And speaking of doing stupid stuff live, he also leaked a conversation between his pretend lawyer and his real lawyer live. So it's safe to say things are becoming more and more telling of how
he live streamed a conversation with his lawyer. What? No, I don't think I heard that right.
Speaking of doing stupid stuff live, He also leaked a conversation between his pretend lawyer and his real lawyer. Line. So it's safe to say things are becoming.
Oh, lie. I mean, still, it's a leak. Is he trying to like film, live stream like a Law and Order episode based on him or something? Like, who live streams a conversation with their lawyer? Like I said before in a video that I wanted to be like a fly in a wall and see what the lawyer was thinking, but I was not expecting him to live stream it.
Becoming more and more telling of how screwed he really is. And this whole nonchalant act is in fact nothing more than just an act that's going to backfire on him massively. So let's get into this disaster. So as of right now, I saw.
Yeah, I do hope that they like give him the harshest sentence possible, but
pleading guilty to 3 charges last time I traveled out to South Korea. This was for disruption of business revolving around the incident at 7-Eleven in Mapo that we actually went to in my video. Then there were the 2 Minor Crimes Act violations, which are essentially misdemeanors here in the US. One for twerking on people and blasting music on the subway, and one for shoving a rotten fish in people's faces and blasting music.
So those are the ones we know of.
And since then, he's been hit with even more charges. His deepfake charge, which carries a minimum of 3 years in prison if convicted. Then there's another obstruction of business charge involving Latte World. And then on top...
What happened there? This is unrelated but kind of related at the same time. I think I went there as a kid. I don't remember if it was... I believe it was Latte World, but it was so long ago. It could have been another... It could have been another like theme park, but pretty sure I went here, but I don't remember a lot of it. I remember it was a massive place. There was a lot of stuff to do there. But I guess me being a kid, I probably like my one regret about it is I should have, I don't know, soaked it in more, soaked the experience more. But like as a kid, like I didn't. That was like a regret.
For that, to make things even worse for the dude, there's a new investigation that can give him an additional 10.5 years in prison if they end up going through and charging him with this. And that investigation is for child harassment. And this revolves an incident of him spamming horrific slurs at kids in Korean while at Lotte World.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of kids there. And it's an amusement park, or I don't know what it's like. It's... I don't want to say it's like equivalent to Disney World because I've never been, so I don't know like the scale of it, but yeah, like I said, it's a massive place and there's a lot of families there.
The World, if you didn't know, is a kids theme park that has similarities to Disneyland and a kids-oriented version of Six Flags. Because in this clip, he walks around with that infamous Bluetooth speaker that's gotten him in so much trouble in Japan, and he lets people donate to use him as a proxy to harass kids in the worst way possible. And
yeah, I did not realize he went there.
Well, he doesn't understand Korean and wouldn't be able to understand what the text-to-speech was saying. At the end of the day, it's still on him. He's allowed himself to be this vessel for these completely unacceptable interactions. The last thing you want as a parent is, you know, taking your kids to some theme park for them to be harassed through some dude's...
Oh, wow. They change a lot. Like, I think like back when I remember it was like more traditional. I don't think there was anything... I don't think they integrated with anything game related, but like here you got Kart Rider Drift, the Nexon game. I wonder what, like, I assume this is a go-kart thing. Oh, I kind of want to go there again, but I don't have the money.
Speaker as he's filming and live streaming your kid's reaction for the entire internet to see. That should not be accepted, and that's why it's so important for these streamers to be extremely careful with how they use the text-to-speech feature in public, as they are the ones responsible for whatever comes out of the speaker that's on their backpack. But in addition to his public defendant, which is essentially the lawyer he's been using up until now, Johnny has now gone out and got himself a real lawyer. Or,
that's what I heard.
It seems like his friend Hank has done so for him. And this is what Legal Mindset and some other Korean legal analysts have said about his new lawyer.
He has 2 real lawyers. We're not counting Hank.
Hank doesn't count.
First is a public defender in the Western District. That is a free attorney that is provided in the Western District where he has an active case. He also has a paid attorney in the Eastern District. Now, the Eastern District charges as we're going to see, are largely being merged into the Western District. So this paid lawyer is unregistered in the West. So this paid lawyer is unaware of the exact proceedings and what's going on in the Western District. So he really has no idea about what's going on.
Who do they get? Like the Korean version of Lionel Hutz? Like what? Like I also, like, how much are they paying him? So like what I'm reading here is like the lawyer has no idea about the deepfake indictment, which, I mean, I guess if they didn't tell him, then I guess you can argue that. But then the bottom part is that the lawyer doesn't understand merged case concept. I feel like if you're a lawyer, or like at least a reputable one, you like, that is a thing that you should know, right? Like I don't know the law in Korea, and I'm definitely not a lawyer, so, but I feel like if you're a reputable one, then you should know what's happening with your client and just the different concepts, I guess.
Unless he contacts certain people or does extra effort. And it appears that he is kind of being lazy with his proceedings. Also, people that were in the know, and some legal professionals and others that analyzed this, as well as people that looked at this lawyer, it appears he's kind of what you might call in the U.S. a strip mall lawyer. He's got a very heavy specific regional accent, which is very hard to understand. He also seems to be very inexperienced with criminal procedure because he doesn't understand the concept of merging cases.
So
imagine it's like you just graduated, you got your the lawyer certificate or whatever they have over there, and then you're all geared up, so inexperienced, and this is your first person, this is your first client, and then
he hasn't cooperated throughout his entire case, and he's only mocked the judge and prosecutors every step of the way. And his new Hail Mary is to hire a strip mall lawyer. Bro has a Korean Saul Goodman at his service. I mean, the train wreck just somehow keeps on wrecking. But again, somehow it all gets worse, because we also found out that the prosecutor trying to bring Johnny to justice is a top 10 prosecutor in all of Korea. And his new attorney over there also stated that the law enforcement over there is very hard to work with for him due to Johnny's behavior throughout the whole trial. Then to make things even worse, Johnny's lawyer met with the prosecutor to beg them to drop the deepfake charges, but it was too late.
Ramsey's lawyer tried to meet with her.
I did not know the prosecutor was top 10. Oh, they're going all out in this.
Tried to meet this prosecutor to beg her to drop with the deepfake case.
Ramsey is scared of the fact that she is a what?
Beg her to drop it. And as we're going to see with the deepfake case, the hilarious thing is, by the time he met with her, it was already too late. The charge had already been indicted. They'd already moved on. They've already processed this. So
yeah, maybe if he didn't spend all that time live streaming even more stupid stuff, he would have done this in time.
It was too late to even do that meeting, but they were trying to beg her to drop it because they thought she could drop it, but she'd already indicted and it had already been moved over to the Western District.
That charge alone could be 10 years in prison for Johnny. So for the sake of his own freedom, it's really about time he starts apologizing for real and changes his ways.
But he's not going to mean it, though.
Unfortunately for Johnny, I feel like that's just way too late for him now, as Legal Mindset explains the timeline of the deepfake charges here.
On February 18th, referred the deepfake case to the prosecutor, which means at that point, it's looking pretty solid. And we had that based on the information that Ramsey flashed across the screen. He flashed across a paper which revealed that this was already sent to the prosecutor. And I called it out at the time, and I said, he's screwed on this, because this is going to go on to court. If something is sent to the prosecutor, it is highly likely you're going to get an indictment. Well, on March 7th, he leaked that, right? And then on the 25th, the Eastern prosecutor indicted Ramsey. On the 27th, that indictment moved from the East to the West. The West is where his current case is. They are trying to consolidate everything in that Western district because it's already going, it's already pending, and they want to bring everything over to there so they handle it all in one trial rather than breaking it up into multiple trials. So on that day, I knew immediately, and I informed everyone.
Although would that because I know they mentioned earlier that they want to get like the guilty convictions first, so then they can charge him as a repeat offender. So would that still work if they consolidated all of it together in one go? Like I have no idea, but yeah, he had all that time to like try and probably still fail, but just try have a better chance of trying to get that not going. But like I said, he just went and just filmed stupid stuff.
Everybody on the 27th. Because of that, Ramsey and Hank were panicking, and they were talking about that with their lawyer. And that lawyer had no idea. I actually predicted that on my stream. I said, his lawyer might not even know, because the lawyer is not registered in the West. He's only registered in the East. So he actually wasn't accessing the right court records that were in the Western District. So at that meeting, he actually said, oh, you're not indicted for this. Oh, you're not indicted yet. He was.
So again, he's played his cards in the...
Also, like, I want to go back. Like, it says April 1st, lawyer found out due to meeting with the prosecutor, and Ramsey goes silent after. Imagine, like, the lawyer was like, this is an April Fool's, right? This is an April Fool's, right?
You're not indicted for this. Oh, you're not indicted yet.
Oh,
he was.
So again, he's played his cards in the worst way possible, then put his freedom in the hands of a lawyer who isn't even registered in the correct district for him to properly help him. Without a doubt, Johnny or Ramsey deserves a permanent spot in the Hall of Fame of Influencer Morons for his entire trip to Korea. The dude has essentially turned himself into an international laughingstock for nothing. Then he's also trusting this new lawyer for advice, and clearly he's given him a false sense of security.
The lawyer said it's unlikely since you're American, which actually revealed the inexperience and ignorance of this lawyer. Clear example, there was an American that went to jail, that was sentenced to 1 year in jail, prison time, for a single crime, and this was actually predating deepfakes. This was just one cybercrime and an obstruction of business. So remember,
just one.
Ramsey has at least 2 obstruction of business charges already on the docket, 2 Minor Crimes Act, and a deepfake. So Ramsey has over double the amount of charges. And that person, that defendant, was completely cooperative with the judge in the court.
Yep.
He was like, how the lawyer did not do like any precedents, like checking of precedents or something like that, but like that person was cooperating and it still got a year, and here he got someone that arrived to the hearing late, still continued to leak some more stuff, do some more stupid thing after the fact.
Johnny's been anything but that. And unfortunately for Johnny, he outed Hank's and his own lawyer's incompetence himself, as again, he keeps on streaming from his lawyer's office, and by doing...
Like, will Hank get in trouble for, like, aiding Johnny? I don't... Like, probably not, but I don't know why he's still helping him.
So he keeps leaking information about his trial without even realizing it as it's being said in Korean. While Johnny doesn't understand Korean, many others do, including translators that help creators cover the story.
So this is the lawyer speaking.
Okay. How is he... I don't know what was the idea behind him like leaking it, but I guess for the content, right?
So what's happening here, guys, is that Hank is trying to be the lawyer, and the lawyer is having to reprimand and say, hey, Hank, like, let me talk first. Stop trying to explain, right? Stop trying to explain. And once again, this is an issue where Johnny didn't understand the Korean, so he just streamed it. But it just shows how incompetent Hank is, and how even a lawyer who he's paying money to is saying, dude, shut up. Like, let me talk.
Why is he live streaming this in general? And Hank is the one who's been telling Johnny that everything was going to be fine.
Like, what happened? Like, what happens if you live stream something that's supposed to be confidential? Like, I don't know if that's breaking. Is it breaking laws? I don't. Like there's so many laws that he probably broke, but there's also some laws that aren't like there's probably some things that he's done that are probably just bad things to do that are still that's not related to the law. So I don't know. It's just a bad thing to do.
And then of course they messed up and didn't mute again.
This is the superintendent of the Women's and Juvenile Division at Songpa Police Station.
Okay.
Pay attention to that title, superintendent. Okay. The next section, we're going to talk about police and prosecution. This is wild. Also, the section on women and juvenile crimes. The crimes that he's charged with are against women and children. They're saying we're referring the case number.
Okay.
That means he was indicted.
He's a monster.
Wait, that's you. That's me. Wait. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's an uh-oh face from Hank right there. And
even Hank knows. Even he knows. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this. You should not be doing this.
part of me kind of wants to feel for him as he's been guilted into like trying his best to defend his friend who's so stupid he would rather live stream his legal counseling than have a better chance at having his freedom back. It's like he doesn't care his own freedom's on the line.
Like, at some point, he has like figure that he does not want the, or he's not really looking for the help or something. I don't know. Like Hank's, I guess, a real one for helping him. I don't know. Like he's trying, but it's like he's trying, but it doesn't seem like he wants to help. I don't know.
It's just so stupid. It's baffling at this point. But moving on, another clip came out of him threatening to SA the female police officers that were at the station after getting arrested for his underwear stunt.
I've been to this police station 20 times. It's the first time they can put me in cuffs. I've been to this police station 20 different times.
But like, they put
And
you,
he thinks
where,
that's
where do they
fine?
think you're gonna go? You're like, why are you in cuffs? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't care. The Texas, they're lucky I don't.
Dude is really going for the maximum sentence here. He just can't shut up and act right because he has to continuously make everything worse for himself over and over again. And there is nothing that's going to stop him from doing so, no matter how much jail time he's facing. Like, he's just making it so clear to the South Korean judge and prosecutors that if they want to stop this behavior, they're going to have to force him to do so. Like, he knows all of this is going to be viewed by them, but still, for some reason, claims that he has no regrets whatsoever.
So my question is basically to Johnny. What I would like to know is if he has any regrets for what he has been doing over the past few years, especially what's been going on in South Korea.
Zero regrets. Zero remorse.
There is no way. Again, he's just sending these messages to the prosecutor and judge. Oh,
we're seeing only like the selected bits, right? But I'm speechless. Like I don't want to believe that. Like I want to believe that the lawyers at the very least at least warned him about like to not do these things after the hearing. Like Hank, I don't know. Like that look he had when found out that Ramsey was streaming the meeting was like, I feel like he told him after that, but yeah, I want to hope that he was been warned, but he just doesn't care, right? So that at least all the people that are trying to help him, whether it be through public defender, paid attorney, or I guess friend, at least they tried, but he just doesn't care.
over and over again, it seems. How stupid is it possible to be?
You haven't watched your own videos and all the other things that you've done over the couple of years. You haven't seen anything. You haven't watched it.
No, whenever I see clips of it, I laugh my ass off. It's funny.
Wow.
Then on top of that, he also wanted to show up to his next court date wearing the new Kanye gown.
What do you think about the cake outfit at the court? Is that too crazy?
Oh,
The same one Kanye had.
Bro, I know it's a wonderful idea, but you won't even have a platform. You'll just get automatic banned.
No, so now I'm gonna get my Instagram deleted again. You're saying
It's a wonderful idea. I'm not gonna lie. But you can't do that and have a platform.
I really want to do the cake shit, but I know
it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think Hank. That. If you hear someone you know give this idea that you want to wear that outfit, that race or the outfit to a court hearing, I do not want to hear the friend say that's a good idea, but just start after the but and say that you're gonna get banned or whatever. Don't say that's not a good idea.
But why isn't there anybody else doing the stunt? Because
you're right. There's no one else in the world is doing that. You're right. I haven't seen anybody but Kanye do that. So what could I do at the court? I'm gonna have reporters talking to me at the court in 2 days.
He just wants to extend his sentence.
Is coming. The last time I flipped them off and I said I love North Korea.
Oh my god!
I swear to God, I did.
It seems like his own personal Super Bowl seems to be being the biggest idiot possible and going for the most amount of time in Korean prison. But what he doesn't realize is, once he's in prison for a year, people will forget about him. And then, if he's in prison for 5 years, almost everyone would have forgotten about him then. And speaking of prison time, the newest investigation might be the worst one for him yet, as he's now facing an additional 10 years in prison if they go forward with this charge. And again, because he live streamed himself doing it.
It's honestly, he was arrested. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was jailed in Japan for a few months. It didn't feel like a few months, but apparently it was a few months, I think. I swear I read somewhere that he was arrested for 3. I don't know if he got out early and then Japan was just want to kick him out, but I don't. He was arrested there, but people seem to forget that too. But yeah.
Not like they have to gather evidence.
I could be also the source I read probably. I don't know if it's entirely true, but I thought I read that he was arrested and jailed in Japan when he was there. But
really just if the prosecutor wants to hit him with it or not. But as of right now, Johnny hasn't responded to this new investigation, and his new trial is delayed yet again. So I'm sure Hank is worrying, because that means that Hank will have to foot the bill for Johnny for even longer until he's inevitably arrested. But that's the most recent update for the Johnny Smalley case. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for one, but we have so many more crazy stories coming out this week. Also, shout out Legal Mindset for his great coverage of all this. I'll be linking his channel in the description down below. So make sure to subscribe if you're new here, and also I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, from what I've seen from Legal Mindset, he does a good job trying to, I guess, simplify it for the viewers of the charges, why he's being charged in what way, and what's happening, because legal stuff can get confusing. So yeah, he does a good job of explaining things in a procedural manner. It's really easy to understand if you watch this video. So yeah, I went way too long. I don't know, it's just about these videos, it's just it doesn't seem real, but it's still happening, and it's mind-boggling that some people are like this. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.